And now we're rolling.
We're live.
We're live. Dude, how are we not even 20 seconds into the podcast and my photo booth is frozen? I gotta do something different.
Yeah, maybe there's like a setting on your computer that you need to adjust.
I don't think so.
I also think it's because we're using two cameras in two different programs. It just like throws things out of whack.
True. Also, you know, I've got Safari going, Zoom, photo booth. I mean, my computer should be able to handle more than 3 apps, but
yeah, I've got a lot more going than that.
Why?
I keep things open. My mail, my text messages.
Logan, come on. He opened Safari and he's got 50 tabs.
I can't do that.
Not even Safari. It's Google Chrome.
It's Google Chrome. I'm working on too many things.
Wasting your battery life with that Chrome.
I gotta get fucking interviews set up and podcast things ready and check on Blackwolves and check this site and put in this audition, and I just have all my tabs just ready for me.
Right, but you can close them when you're done. You know that, right?
Yeah, but I need them pretty much daily, so
okay.
I like being able to just click and be like, oh, that's where that is.
Cool. And with that, welcome to the Blackwolves Packcast. I am one of your 3 hosts, Jacob Wade.
I am second of your 3 hosts, Jeremy Van Suarez.
And I am last but not least, Logan Riley-Brunner.
Absolutely. Welcome to the Packcast, fellas. Do we have any housekeeping to do?
Not particularly. I mean, we have an interview coming out tomorrow with our first collective member because we got through all the founders, moving into the collective folks. So keep your eye on our Instagram and our YouTube for that. Other than that, we're putting together things. I'm filming more interviews next week, so that's coming.
Yeah, getting some music videos under our belt for acoustic covers. More of those coming soon. And as usual, more Packcasts coming weekly. So
every week.
Yeah. Yes, apparently now Spotify has video capabilities. So if you're listening to us on Spotify, apparently now you can also watch us.
Well, let me tell you something I'm excited about.
This new Uncharted trailer.
I haven't gotten to see it yet.
Me either.
What?
Speak. Tell the folks.
I sent this to you yesterday.
Yeah, and we work, man. We work.
Yeah, so do I. This is 2 minutes of your time.
Well, I'm a busy guy.
Uncharted coming out from Sony Pictures, obviously, and PlayStation Productions. They have a cute little logo at the beginning. It has Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg in it, and it's a movie adaptation of the video games, the series by Naughty Dog. This Uncharted appears to be a kind of mix of an original take on Uncharted, but also like adapting set pieces from the video games. I believe the story is kind of like a almost like an origin story. So it's like the first job that Nathan Drake and Sully go on together. But if you have played through a bunch of the Uncharted games, you will definitely peep set pieces from each of the games. I'm hella excited for it. It looks great, and I was actually surprised by how good it looks. Video game adaptations are not the best.
They've been getting a lot better.
We've been
saying for years that video game adaptations aren't that good, and the past couple have been really solid.
Yeah,
they've been getting better.
At first, when I saw that Tom Holland was announced to play Nathan Drake, I was like, no way, this kid plays Spider-Man. He's too young, you know? Mm-hmm. But I watched part of the trailer without sound. And I will say that knowing that this is like going to be the first of many Uncharted stories that come out, I'm excited for the future because I can see him and Marky Mark
busy.
I can see them aging together as Nathan and Sully, and I'm excited for like their last movie when Tom's in his 30s and you know Sully's in his 60s. And
yeah, I doubt 30s. I'm guessing we'll get up to 40s.
You think really it'll go up to his 40s? I mean, probably knowing the franchise, like culture.
Depending on the success, I think.
I mean, come on, who would have thought that Harrison Ford would be still playing Indiana Jones in this decade, you know?
Or Han.
That poor
Or
old
Han.
man.
Or his role in Blade Runner.
He's just
Like,
returning.
he is like the king of coming back as his old characters and making audiences wet.
Really?
Does Harrison Ford make you wet, Jacob?
Is that the wrong word?
I think that's just you.
Yeah.
That maybe you should see a doctor about that.
I don't know about a doctor. Maybe like a therapist.
I mean, it sounds pretty natural to me. I don't know about you guys.
Just getting wet over Harrison Ford. Listen, it happens.
Guys, it's a natural body reaction. I'm not saying that I do. I just said audiences, as in like it could be anyone.
Right.
Watching the movie. Moving on. Have you heard that Alec Baldwin?
Oh wow, this is a dramatic.
Mentally killed a man.
Okay, yeah.
He did not accidentally kill a man. He accidentally killed a woman. He accidentally killed the DP of his movie.
Cinematographer,
yeah. This is a topic that needs to be handled with a lot of respect.
I'm sorry, I used the phrase "kill a man," but I meant killed a human, and that human is a woman.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for my predominantly male brain. It will be adapting.
Yeah. There was an accidental discharge of a firearm. No one really knows exactly what happened. Prop safety is incredibly important.
Someone's gonna get rocked legally.
Yeah, I think some props master should be.
I don't want to put anything out there. We don't know who did what. There's a lot of people online saying so-and-so should get fired, so-and-so should get fired, so-and-so should get arrested. We don't know who loaded it. We don't know why it was loaded. We don't know why it was pointed at the DP. We don't know why it was fired. All we know
and the director was injured.
Is that Alec Baldwin
critically injured.
Had a firearm in his hand. It went off. 2 people got really hurt. 1 person's dead.
And just to be clear, it was a prop firearm. It wasn't like a legit gun.
Yes, but even like any trained person on a set will tell you that a prop firearm is a firearm. Yeah. It is. Most of them are actual guns that have had like specific parts taken out of them or are loaded specifically with blanks. But those things are very dangerous. This is not the first time that someone has died by being shot by a prop weapon. So everybody thinks that they're really cool and such a badass holding a firearm until somebody gets hurt. So yeah, just in general. And this is something that I saw in theater. This is something that I saw in film, like when actors and just crew members, when anybody gets around prop weapons, people's brains just turn off and they go to, ooh, that's so shiny. Ooh, that's so cool. And weapons are weapons, guys. It's dangerous and people can get really, really fucking hurt. And it's not something to be taken lightly. So just from the Blackwolves to the entire acting world, if you're ever given a prop firearm, aim it at the ground, keep your finger off the trigger. Don't point it at other people. Don't wave it around. Don't touch it if it's not yours. Don't point it at someone thinking you're funny. There are so many ways that things can go wrong in half a second that can just destroy someone's entire life. So yeah, I'm really heartbroken by this. I think this is really, really awful.
I was like really shocked when I read it. And I guess like we were talking about this beforehand, that I started out by saying like I kind of like laughed at this. Not that the situation is funny at all, but just like
the shock.
Yeah, right. Like this is not what I expect to see in 2021, although what I shouldn't be expecting, I don't know what to expect anymore. Yeah, right. There certainly wasn't. Alec Baldwin is a murderer now.
No.
Heart goes out to the family of Halyna Hutchins. Hoping that they can find some peace and some justice somehow.
And then the director of the film is Joel Sousa. He's currently in the hospital. Yeah, it's things that can happen in a fucking heartbeat. It was 1:50 in the morning. They were just in the middle of shooting and someone got shot. So be careful.
Jeez.
If you've been on set for years, if you've been on set once, the rules are always the same. Just be careful because you never know what could happen. Yeah.
Cool. Let's talk about them new MacBook Pros.
Yeah, we're
ladies
gonna
and
lighten the
gentlemen.
mood
Let's talk
real
about
quick.
that.
Yeah.
Apple event, a second one for this fall. The second event of the season.
Apple Unleashed.
That's right. Apple announced its new line of MacBook Pros and also new AirPod Pros.
Just regular AirPods.
Oh, are they?
Yep. Just threes.
Oh.
They look like pros, but they're
They
not.
look like pros, but they're not.
They're not.
Okay.
Regular AirPods.
Yeah, I thought that the commercial was underwhelming. They were like, AirPods with spatial audio.
I mean, spatial
That's about
audio is
it.
pretty cool.
Spatial audio is pretty cool, but like, didn't the pros have spatial audio?
Yeah, but the regular AirPods didn't.
Right. So now they're just remarketing AirPod Pros as AirPod 3?
No, there's AirPod Pros and there's AirPod 3s.
I know, but what's the difference?
One of them has noise cancellation and the other one doesn't.
Oh, the Pros have noise cancellation and the 3s don't.
Yeah.
All right.
That's why they're pros.
What's the difference in price?
$50?
I was gonna guess 100.
$50 difference?
No, I'm pretty sure the AirPod 3s start at $179. $179, yeah. And the Pros start at
$229.
I mean, they're $199 at Target right now.
Okay. So like a $20 difference.
Yeah. $249.
$249. Okay,
There you
so
go.
more.
That's how much I paid for my Pros.
Ah.
It's about an $80 difference.
It was a birthday gift.
Yeah.
That noise cancellation is pretty sick, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus,
I'm
the
always
AirPod,
worried about noise cancellation in New York. Like maybe if I lived in like Atlanta or like Boston.
this isn't like the most advanced noise cancellation in the world. I still like there are times where I'm walking throughout the streets of New York with the noise canceling on, and I'm like, is my noise canceling on? And
Well,
then I
the
press
streets of New York are so loud, dude.
so loud, yeah.
You can still hear through the plastic.
Yeah.
Believe me.
You can definitely still hear, like, you can definitely still make out words. It's not like someone talks to you and it's like,
Yeah, suddenly you're a Peanuts adult.
yeah. They also announced the new MacBook Pros. Of course, there's now a 14-inch and a 16-inch as opposed to the previous 13 and 15-inch, and that's because same form factor, but smaller bezels and a notch, but no Face ID. It still has the Touch ID button. It has a notch and a 1080p webcam, which is pretty sick.
That is pretty sick.
The screen is ProMotion, so it supports up to 120 hertz refresh rate.
That's cool.
They took out the touch bar and put back in the function keys.
I like my touch bar.
I do like my touch bar as well.
I dig my touch bar. I think it's cool, but there are times that I'm like, where's the button that I'm looking for? And I'm like clicking through things. And I'm like, oh, there it is. It's taking me a little getting used to.
Okay. And see, this part gets me angry. Apple always wants to be taking out ports in support of the future, but this year for their new MacBook, they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna put the HDMI cable back, we're gonna put the SD card reader back, like
right as I buy a new laptop.
Right as I bought a new laptop, I need a freaking attachment just to put in a USB
adapter for adapters.
Yeah, right. And then they were like giving themselves a pat on the back, and it's like,
we gave you HDMI. You took it away.
Yeah, you're the ones who you were the ones who took it away in the first place. Don't pretend like you're a genius for this.
Yeah.
And it starts
that being said,
at $1,999, which is well above the price that we all got our new MacBook Pros for.
Yeah.
For good. I mean, its improvements are really good. Especially that screen improvement. especially its processor improvement. They have new M1 chips, and the M1 chips are some of the best on the market. But I'm happy with my MacBook, and I'm happy I didn't spend $2,000 on it because I was able to give myself a few upgrades.
Yeah, same. Couldn't have said it any better myself. I'm happy with the computer I've got. I don't want to spend $2,000 and up on a laptop, but I will say the timing was unfortunate, and honestly, I'm not gonna lie, that 14-inch MacBook would be cool to have. It would be cool to have.
Would be cool to have.
But hey, we have all got our 13-inch space grays.
Hell yeah.
We are living.
We are living. Next.
What are we talking about next, folks? I think we should talk about some movies coming out this coming week.
Movies coming out this week.
We can talk about some good things, some positivity.
Yes.
There's some good stuff coming out. There's some actually really interesting stuff that I really want to talk about. So I'm going to take you through some things, and we'll hype some things up and hopefully give you some stuff to see. We didn't get to see Dune yet. We're going to try and do that very, very soon.
We didn't get to see any of the movies we said we wanted to see last week.
Well, I got to see one, but it wasn't one of the ones we said we wanted to see last week. It was one of the ones I said I wanted to see 2 weeks ago. So technically I've seen one, but we'll get to that later.
Okay, let's get to that later.
Coming out this week, to rehype it, Son of Monarchs, which we mentioned on episode 36 of the podcast, comes officially to HBO Max. So if you missed it in theaters for the 2 weeks that it was running there, you can watch it now on demand. Enjoy that. That one looks like a really good time. It gives me more of an opportunity to watch it. In addition, from Netflix, we have Passing, which is by Rebecca Hall, based on the novel by Nella Larson. Rebecca Hall is a first-time female director and writer. Passing tells the story of two high school friends who reunite. I'll read the actual synopsis. Follows the unexpected reunion of two high school friends whose renewed acquaintance ignites a mutual obsession that threatens both of their carefully constructed realities. Passing is about two people who are Black women who are white passing. The whole film is shot in black and white. So it's hard to tell just how passing they are. You are told essentially by the movie how passing they are, and whether or not other people believe this lie that they are constructing. In addition, also from Netflix, we have Hypnotic, which stars Kate Siegel of Haunting of and Midnight Mass fame. Directed by Matt Angel and Susanna Coate, written by Richard Dovidio. Female director, yay. It looks like a hypnotist horror movie. Woman gets hypnotized and then starts losing parts of her memory, and oh gosh, what's going on?
I did see this trailer and it looked kind of cool.
Yeah, it looks like a cool thriller. I don't know if I'm gonna watch it right away because there's a couple other things that I want to see this week, but definitely something to check out if you're into thriller. In terms of horror this week, we have something I'm very excited for. This movie's been pushed back so many times.
I remember this before 2020.
I remember this pre-COVID. Antlers, the horror movie, directed by Scott Cooper, who wrote it alongside Henry Chazen and Nick Antosca, based on Nick Antosca's short story, The Quiet Boy. In an isolated Oregon town, a middle school teacher and her sheriff brother become embroiled with an enigmatic student whose dark secrets lead to a terrifying encounter with a legendary ancestral creature who came before them. Looks super scary, looks super creepy, looks super bloody. I'm so into it. Kerry Russell and Jesse Plemons are both in it. Jesse Plemons I've loved since Game Night, so very down to see that movie. I'm very excited.
Isn't Guillermo del Toro involved in it somehow?
He's a producer.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Lending that producer eye to creepy monster horror movies. Next up, we have A Mouthful of Air, which looks like a super character-based kind of drama finding yourself movie, starring Amanda Seyfried. It is about a writer of best-selling children's novels who has to deal with their trauma after her child is born. It's directed and written by Amy Kopelman, who's a female director-writer, and it stars Amanda Seyfried and Finn Wittrock with Jacob, I think you'll like this, Jennifer Carpenter from Dexter.
Nice. I haven't seen her face in a while.
Yeah, it's been a minute, so I'm excited to see her doing some more stuff. Definitely want to see that. The movie that we're all excited for and that we're definitely going to see in theaters and that I'm going to drag these two to if I have to is Last Night in Soho. Directed by Edgar Wright, who co-wrote with Christy Wilson Carnes of 1917 fame. The two of them were introduced by director Sam Mendes, who said that, I think the exact quote was, they would get along like a house on fire, and apparently they did exactly that. They've written this horror movie, this really interesting look at the 60s and modern times, starring Thomasin McKenzie and Anya Taylor-Joy. Looks super duper good, looks super duper scary. I am so into Edgar Wright doing horror. Gimme.
Also, Matt Smith is in this movie if you like Doctor Who.
Yeah, but you know, he's not one of the stars. He's not on the poster.
I think he's the antagonist. That's what the trailer looks like.
I think there's a dual antagonist thing going on.
Yeah,
I think it's young him and old him.
Mm-hmm.
But the story is about Thomasin McKenzie and Anya Taylor-Joy. I mean, yeah, Matt Smith's the villain, but the story is about the two of them. This is one that I'm actually going to let Jeremy, you talk a little bit about, because I don't know a ton about it. And it's kind of in your wheelhouse. My Hero Academia's latest movie, World Heroes Mission.
Yeah, I mean, it's a movie coming out that's based on the anime show. It's the third one. I've seen the other two. God damn it, I'm such a nerd. When a cult of terrorists ruins a city by releasing a toxin that causes people's abilities to spiral out of control, Japan's greatest heroes spread around the world in an attempt to track down the mastermind and put him to justice. It's made by the team that makes the My Hero Academia series. The last movie was really good. It managed to subvert my expectations. I doubt they're gonna do it again, but I like to be proven wrong sometimes. So let's see. My Hero Academia World Heroes Mission.
Next up, a movie released in Malaysia back in 2019 that is finally getting its US debut, called Ro, also known as Soul, set in the past, in which a family gets a visit from a strange little girl with a frightening prediction. Directed and written by Emir Ezwan, with story by Naziri M. Anwar and Amir Hafizi. Thank you. Jeez.
Who'd you say thank you to?
Myself, for my brain finally working.
Okay.
Horror movie, creepy, definitely scary. Excited to see more movies from Asian countries coming to America, because they do horror super fucking well. I really want to see this. I think it looks good. Going from horror to thriller, we have 13 Minutes, which is directed and written by Lindsay Gosling, not related to Ryan Gosling, with story assistance by Travis Farncombe, female director, writer. It's about 4 families in the heartland who are tested when a tornado hits. 13 minutes is the amount of time that it normally takes for a group of people to get from their homes to a lockdown shelter. And so it's kind of the idea of like, the tornado is coming, you have 13 minutes. That looks cool. A movie that Jacob and I have talked about a little bit, because it is being produced by the Winklevoss twins of Social Network fame. Heart of Champions, starring Michael Shannon and directed by Michael Mailer, written by Vojin Gajaja. It is a movie about a rowing team. The Winklevoss twins bringing their love of rowing to the screen. Okay. About a year at an Ivy League college. Oh my gosh, I wonder what they're writing from. Maybe a little bit of personal experience. So that looks really cool. We have a fun looking prequel to Army of the Dead called Army of Thieves, which is about the safecracker Ludwig Dieter. I didn't see Army of the Dead. Anyone who did is probably going to watch Army of Thieves. It's starring Matthias Schweinhofer. I'm so sorry, I'm bad with German names. Who is also directing. So Zack Snyder.
Schweighofer.
Okay, Schweighofer. Thank you, Jacob. Yeah, story assistance from Zack Snyder, kind of giving the reins over. It looks fun. That's what I'm going to say about that. It looks fun. Next up, we have Snakehead, written and directed by Evan Leong, who's a Chinese-American director-writer. Snakehead is about a Chinese immigrant who gets caught up in an international crime ring, kind of looks a little John Wicky, a little bit of like person gets brought into the dark world and then has to escape. Looks kind of cool. Very exciting. Think that looks cool. We have The Souvenir Part 2, which is the sequel to, of course, The Souvenir, starring Honor Swinton Byrne and Tilda Swinton. This is the Swinton movie. It's about the two of them playing mother-daughter when they are mother-daughter in real life. Directed and written by Joanna Hogg, who's a female director-writer. This is about Julie, who is Honor Swinton Byrne's character, as she begins to untangle her fraught love for her partner in making her graduation film, sorting fact from his elaborately constructed fiction. So this looks super cool. This looks super family-based and character-based, so that's something that I love. This next one is very interesting. This next one, I think, is intriguing based on events that happened during quarantine, because I have a feeling this was shot beforehand. Violet, starring Olivia Munn and Justin Theroux, being directed and written by Justine Bateman, also known as Jason Bateman's sister.
Whoa, that's cool.
Working with Jason Bateman's ex-wife on a movie about a woman who realizes her entire life is built on fear-based decisions and has to do everything to reverse it. The trailer looks like the woman's in a very unhappy marriage with a terrible person and hates her job and her life and then has to escape from it. So it's very intriguing that this movie is being done by Jason Bateman's sister following his divorce from wife Olivia Munn, who's playing the lead. I'm intrigued to find out more about this movie. I definitely want to see it. But I would be interested to hear if this was pre that happening, if it was just a coincidence that led to it happening later. Stories are always fascinating. Life imitates art. We have The Match, which is a father-son duo being directed and written by Dominic and Jakov Sedlar. Dominic Sedlar, the son, Jakov Sedlar, his father. A movie about a football match that is taking place between Nazis and their prisoners in a concentration camp on Adolf Hitler's birthday. Looks kind of inspirational sports movie. Looks like Let's Rise Up Against the Oppressors.
For a sports movie.
It is based on a true story. So
that doesn't surprise me at all. That sounds like some stupid shit that they would do.
I mean, yeah. So we'll see how that goes. That looks interesting. We've got a documentary called Attica, which is directed by Tracy Curry and Stanley Nelson, who are both Black directors, about a prison riot that happened in 1971. Prisoners fighting for their rights. We're seeing that in modern times with prisoners protesting oppressive conditions in modern prisons. I've been hearing about it a lot with Rikers, especially in New York. So definitely interesting to see how things haven't really changed since the 1970s, just to kind of see how far we think we've come so far, but how far do we have to go still?
Yeah, it's interesting that we're getting so many like nonfiction movies and historical dramas, and I'm loving it.
Yeah, I think it's also the fact that we're starting to really look for them. I feel like nonfiction movies kind of pass by the wayside. Attica, of course, is on Showtime. So if you want to watch that, you got a Showtime subscription. Check it out. The last two we have, and then I'll finish this off. We've got Cicada, which is written and directed. It's directed by Matt Pfeiffer and Kieran Mulcair, written by Matt Pfeiffer and Sheldon D. Brown. It's the two actors, Matthew Pfeiffer and Sheldon D. Brown, telling a true story about life and love, kind of bordering the lines between documentary and narrative. So interested in that kind of twisting of genre. And then finally, Keyboard Fantasies. How I've never heard of the group Keyboard Fantasies, I don't know. They seem super fucking cool. Directed by Pawsey Dixon, who is a queer femme director, identifying as she, they. This is about Beverly Glenn Copeland, a Black transgender musician who became a cult icon 3 decades after the release of his album, Keyboard Fantasies. I have never heard this album, but to know that there's a documentary coming out about a Black transgender musician being directed by a queer femme director, so here for it. Let's see it. Let's support it. Yay.
Good stuff.
good soup. Those are the movies coming out this week. There's actually more. They're in the description below if you want to check them out. There's a lot of good art coming out this week. You should check it out. Support your local cinema. If it's a local movie theater, great. If it's an AMC, cool. If you're staying at home and watching on demand, awesome. Just don't pirate. That's the one thing I ask. Just don't pirate your movies. That's all I'm going to ask.
You wouldn't download a car.
I loved those commercials. I thought they were so funny.
I'd download a car if I could.
Yeah, support artists. They put hard work into making art. Sometimes literally blood, sweat, and tears. So support art. Those are my movies.
I was gonna add sometimes death.
I was thinking the same thing.
That's why I said blood, sweat, and tears.
Yeah, well, rest in peace. Anyway, guys, let's talk about some content we've been consuming. Yeah?
Yes.
Shall we?
Good
I'll
thing.
start us off. How about that?
Go for it.
This past week, I started watching Succession Season 3. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. It's hilarious. It's dramatic. It is well shot, well acted. Excellent cast. Brilliant show. If you are not on the Succession wave, get on it. Jeremy. I also started season 3 of You on Netflix, which is also great. It's got some great, it's a nice little cute drama. Also funny, you know.
Nice, little, and cute. Those are the words I'd use to describe You.
Me and Jacob are gonna have very different reviews of the things that we watched this week.
Listen, guys. You season 3 has been cute so far. I loved that first episode. It's guys, hey, there's a baby involved, so it can be cute. All right.
I don't know about that. There's a baby involved in like a lot of murder movies. I don't know that I call them cute.
I think that this is a cute murder show. And if you like cute murder shows, you'll like You.
You're probably already watching it if you like cute murder shows.
Yeah. It's building nicely off of last season. Beautifully. It's, you know, they're doing a good job so far. I've only watched the first episode. I still got to finish up Ted Lasso. And
yeah,
I do. I know. And I am about to start the morning show season 2. I haven't started it yet, but it's in the future, guys. I'm planting the seed now. That is what I've been consuming this past week. And I'd like to pass the ball to Logan.
You've passed the ball to me. Excellent. I am consuming a little bit of Catherine Full Body, very fun video game for the PS4. I'm still playing it on my PS4 because I had it downloaded at the time that I got my PS5 and I didn't feel like transferring all that stuff to my PS5. So I'm just playing it on my PS4. In addition to that, playing more NBA 2K, played some Ghost of Tsushima, very fun. Jumped back into Red Dead Redemption 2. We were posseing up and riding around the Old West. I watched the Jake Gyllenhaal movie, The Guilty, which was super good. One location, only like 4 or 5 characters on screen. Everything else was done through voiceover. The twist got me. I was not expecting it. And that's always fun from a thriller movie, is something that I'm like, I literally grabbed my seat and was like, no.
Oh, I love that.
It was awesome. I loved it. Succession season 3. I thought it was a slow burn start. The acting, fantastic. The writing, really solid. But I think we're slowly ramping up. This was a setup episode. This was not the like deliver some blows. This was like, all right, let's set up what this season's conflicts are gonna be. You can see the cracks; they're already forming. I watched You. The first episode of You season 3. I don't know that I'd call it a cute murder show. I laughed my ass off. I thought it was hilarious. But it definitely caught me by surprise. This show is not a slow burn. Season 2 of You felt like a slow burn. Season 3 of You does not. Season 3 of You feels like let's light the fire and run. So very, very excited about that. Critical Role Campaign 3 started this weekend. Watched that with my D&D pals. Excited for a new campaign. I'm excited to finally be able to watch from like the start of the campaign rather than trying to catch up.
Like 100 something episodes.
Yeah, I'm on episode 83 of campaign 2. I still have like 60 episodes to go. I'm listening to some old Blink 182, their old album Take Off Your Pants and Jacket. I think it's a really good album, so I've been listening to that.
Now, is it like Jack Space It, or is it like Jacket?
Jacket.
No.
Jacket.
Okay, there we go. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I get the joke. I just want a clarification.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm watching, consuming, listening, all that stuff. Still watching Unsleeping City. That's very fun. Make me laugh.
My turn. I am watching not a lot of stuff. I just got a new job, so I'm getting accustomed to that. I've had opening shifts. I have closing shifts. Boopity boop boop. But I've been playing some video games that I've already played. Nothing new, but just retreading some familiar territory with some Red Dead Redemption 2 and Ghost of Tsushima Legends, and yeah, that's kind of it. I watched an episode of Hunter x Hunter with Logan. I watched a couple episodes of Hunter x Hunter with Logan. I'm glad he's still enjoying that.
I can.
Yeah, that's
Slow
it.
week.
I'm a boring boy this week. Hopefully next week I'll have a lot more movies under my belt.
That's how I'm feeling.
Yeah, we got to watch some movies together, boys.
Yeah,
Yes,
when we're
sir.
done with our work today, Jacob, we should watch a movie.
Okay.
This is a suggestion.
Yeah, no, I've got a whole list of movies that we can watch, Logan.
Yeah.
No.
We could also continue watching Dexter.
Oh yeah, we are.
We are catching up in preparation for the
final
or-
season.
Yeah, the final season coming out in November.
I believe so.
That's right around the corner.
Oh my gosh!
Cool.
It's kind of funny to watch that show. We were talking about it. This will be my last point because it is getting to that time. It's kind of funny watching that show from season 1 again and like watching Michael C. Hall and Jennifer Garner playing brother and sister, because you can tell that they are not brother and sister in real life. There are moments where you're like, oh, yeah, you guys start dating like real shortly after you filmed this.
They did. I think they were actually engaged.
Yeah, they did get engaged at one point.
But they never got married?
I'm not sure. That would be something to look up.
Yeah, we can on our own time. We could do it on the pod. I mean, doesn't matter.
I mean, yeah, we're approaching our ending.
Yeah.
The end of the roller coaster is quickly approaching.
I'd like to remind our listeners to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Instagram, like us on Facebook, comment on our posts, like our posts, share those posts, support us in any way that you can. We would really, really appreciate it. And just know that if you've gotten to this point in the podcast and you're still listening, I'd like to thank you all for sticking around for us, because I love you.
We love you.
We love you.
And with that, we bid you adieu.
Bye.
Good night, everyone, and have a pleasant tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.